Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be one that I have filmed every single day for the past week, and then as soon as I watch it back, I delete it because I wish I said this, wish I didn't say that, wish I explained this differently. Like, it's just been a long week of filming this every single day, trying to get my words right, trying to get my thoughts sorted, and it just never comes out correctly. But today's video I'm going to be filming how I actually feel about breaking up with my child's father. So let's get started. So I just want to make a couple pointers before I even start this video. So I think this time filming this is going to be a little bit different, just because I feel like I've stripped down. I'm more me, I'm more raw, I'm going to be real, instead of putting on this persona with my full face of makeup and my beautiful hairstyle and a good outfit, and acting like what I'm talking about isn't kind of serious and hurtful. Not saying that if I'm done up, I'm not being real, just that, like, I feel like this is a more vulnerable, open side of me, and that's what I want this video to kind of bring out, so that I am more raw with you guys. And secondly, I just want to say, before I even start talking about anything, this video is not to bash anybody. It's not to bash Zendaya's dad, it's not to bash him as a person, his character, nothing. I'm just going to be talking about the facts that happened between our relationship. And if I say something that is not a fact, that's just my opinion, I will voice that it's just my opinion. So yeah, I just hope that me being more stripped down, and you know, the no makeup, I'm not even wearing a shirt, I'm wearing a sports bra, not like no perfect hairstyle, and I just hope that can bring out a raw, real part of me that I can really like open up to you guys about what happened in our relationship and how I feel about it. So yeah, let's move on to the story. Okay, so I'm not going to start from the beginning of our relationship or anything, because I feel like I've talked about our relationship before, and I don't really want to, like, get into that right now. But, I'm going to start from when we moved in together. So, there's a hair on my lip. Got it. So we moved in together when I was 9 months pregnant, 8.5 or 9 months pregnant. We moved in together. And we didn't move in together because we wanted to, or because we were having a baby together. Like, there was deeper reasons as to why he had to move in with me. I'm not going to go into those reasons, though, because it's kind of his business, and that's not for me to say. But he had to move in with me for more reasons and bigger reasons than us having a baby and us wanting to. But when he first moved in with me, things were amazing. He made me breakfast every single morning. It was, like, so cool to live with my boyfriend, because, my mom, my parents have never been the type to let boys spend the night or let me spend the night at a boy's house. Like, they've never been that type. So to live with my boyfriend was like so weird to me. But it was amazing until up until I had Zendaya, things were perfect. Like, it felt so good to live with him, and I felt like our relationship was in a really good spot. And then when Zendaya was born, I think something just kind of changed like that. Like, something just kind of changed instantly between us. I think that my life, when Zendaya was born, became about her. Like, every part of my being and my brain went to her, and I feel like his didn't. Which is honestly pretty normal. It is pretty normal for mothers to just click into that role, and fathers don't really click into it immediately yet. But, yeah, that's just kind of what happened. And so things were good at first. Like, I was super happy. I feel like I don't really remember the events of the first couple weeks of her life correctly, because I was so involved in having a newborn that I don't really know exactly what was going on between us during the first couple weeks. But I do know when Zendaya was 3 weeks old, me and Tala started arguing a lot, because I was always asking him to stay home with me more. I was asking for more help. I was asking for more support in taking care of her. I'm also going to throw something else out there. Whenever I say Telis left, he went, he was at, like, this was all in my car. Telis was driving my car all the time at this point. So when Zendaya was about 3 weeks old, I started speaking up to Telis about how he was never home, about how I needed help, about how I didn't like the fact that he was never there, or never here. And I started voicing my opinion, like, I need help, I need you to stay home, I need you to come around. Because I feel like he went to school from 7 to 3, and then he would come home for a little bit and then leave again, and then not come back till nighttime. So I voiced my opinion about that when Zendaya was 3 weeks old. And I remember from Zendaya being 3 weeks old to 5 weeks old, all we did was argue back and forth about how he's never home and how I felt very alone in raising our daughter. So when Zendaya was 5 weeks old, he broke up with me. He ended our relationship because he thought I was trying to control him by asking him to stay home more. So we broke up. But he stayed living with me because reasons I'm not going to get into, and because I really wanted him to build a relationship with our daughter. So he stayed living with me, and he started talking to another female as like a relationship. And that's when things for us kind of just collapsed, and that is when the first unfixable issue for us happened. He started talking to somebody else, and I knew about it, and I found out about it, and I had proof that they were talking. But whenever I would ask him about it, he wouldn't be honest with me. He would lie to me and say he wasn't talking to her. It was nothing deep. Like, he just always was never telling me the truth about her. So I completely fell apart. I was so depressed. I was so down. And I was so, like, I was at the point where I felt like I couldn't take care of my daughter anymore. But I had no choice. So I think, I want to say she was 5 weeks old when he broke up with me officially, which was the beginning of October. So I want to say from when he broke up with me at the beginning of October, no, it was the middle of October, the end of October. So when he broke up with me at the end of October, so I want to say probably middle of November, we were a mess. I mean, not speaking to each other, arguing. He was never home at this point, like never home at this point. And we were just in the worst spot we've ever been in. But after a couple months of that, we tried to get back together and try to fix our relationship. But we never really fixed ourselves because I felt like, and I still feel like to this day, him doing that to me, him breaking up with me when the day I was 5 weeks old because I asked him to stay home more, him not really caring about how sad I was and leaving me with our daughter by myself, then and now, I never got over that. And I'm the type of person where when I agree to try again with someone, I also agree to move past what happened. And I was really seriously trying my hardest to move past that, but I really could never let go of it. But we eventually ended up mending our relationship and getting back together. So from, I want to say the middle of November to January maybe, things were okay. We argued about a couple things, but things were pretty much okay. They were fine. And then the beginning of this year, things changed again. And he started texting multiple females, and I was finding out about it, and he never could give me a reason why he was texting them. He always lied about who they were. He always said they were his cousins or they were his friends, or like making up lies about why he was texting these girls and who they were to him when they were really just females he wanted to text and wanted to entertain while he had me and was in a relationship with me. So from the beginning of this year until a couple months ago, he was just cheating on me a lot. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I was a saint in our relationship. I was not. I made mistakes also. But in my opinion, if you compare what he did to me to what I did to him, I felt like what he did to me outweighed what I did to him by 1,000, 100%. So we just argued back and forth. There was always cheating involved. There was lying and trust issues involved, and just a lot of horrible problems. So that's kind of what we dealt with for months. And I know people are probably going to ask why we didn't break up officially, why didn't he move out, why didn't I kick him out. I really don't know how to talk about this without blasting his business. There wasn't a possible way for him to move out. There just wasn't at the time. There was no possible way for him to move out. And so we just coexisted. And I broke up with him multiple times over the past those months that we were having issues. But we always got back together because we were sleeping in the same bed. We were living in the same house. Like, it's really hard to break up with somebody when you're sleeping in the same bed as them. So, like, I would break up with him, but it was hard to stay apart because we lived together. So, yeah. That's kind of what it was from, I want to say, January to July. It was just us arguing back and forth about him talking to different females, him not being loyal, whether or not we wanted to continue our relationship or not. So then in August, the first couple of days of August, he got into a single car accident and totaled my car. And at this point we were together. We were arguing about something. We weren't good, but I think we were together. But he totaled my car, and when that happened, he had to go stay with his cousin, because he needed rides to work. And we live like 30 minutes from where he was working at, so there was no way he was getting rides from somebody to work, and then that person like went on vacation or something and couldn't take him anymore, So he had to go up and stay with his cousin, which was closer to his job so he could get rides to work. And as soon as he went to go stay with his cousin, I started hearing crazy stories about how this cousin isn't his cousin. It's not a male. It's a female who's not related to him. He's staying with this girl. He's driving this other girl's car. He's like with these other females all the time. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, it was just another whole issue about him telling me one thing and other people telling me another thing. And when I'm with somebody, I really try to be 100% with them and believe them over anything else and any other rumor. But because of our past, it was very difficult for me to believe him over everything I was saying, when everything that I was being told by other people has happened with him before. So, I was really trying my best to like trust him and trust that he wasn't doing what people were saying he was doing, but in the back of my head, I knew it was probably true. So I want to say from the end of August, he like officially kind of was staying with his cousin, this person, whoever they are. I still don't know who they are to this day. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah. So I eventually ended the relationship. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm constantly hearing that you're with this person, with this person. I'm tired of always having to check your location. I'm tired of not being texted back. I'm tired of all this stuff when it's probably true. Like, you probably are entertaining other females. You probably are talking to other females. You probably are driving another girl's car. Like, it makes sense. It's probably true. So I ended our relationship. And he by no means wanted to end our relationship at all. He wanted to try to work things out and stay together, but I was like, it's just not working anymore. Like, I'm trying so hard to keep us together and keep myself together and take care of Zendaya. Because at this point, he was not getting rides down to my house to come see Zendaya either. So I was now 100% a single mother. So I broke up with him, and I was like, I just can't take this anymore. And I want to say from probably the whole month of September, we were back and forth between wanting to try again, me wanting to 100% end it, him wanting to try again, him wanting to keep talking, him wanting to keep things going. Me being told he's talking to someone else, us arguing about Zendaya. Like, it was just, September was just a month of us going back and forth on what we wanted to be, whether we were done, whether we were not, whether he can see Zendaya, whether he can't. Like, it was just this mess of arguing. And it's now October, and we are officially still not together. He still wants to try to work on our relationship, but there comes a point in time when you have to understand that things aren't going to change. And as a person, he's a great person. I really think he is. But in a relationship, I just don't think he's ready. I just feel like since Zendaya's been born, our mindsets have been in just two completely different places. I feel like my mindset is up here about Zendaya and his is right here. I feel like the minute Zendaya was born, even before I was pregnant, I felt like my maturity level has always been way past my years. And I feel like his is kind of behind his years. And he wants to be a teenager. He wants to party. He wants to smoke. He wants to go to basketball games and football games and stuff. And I was never like that. I feel like once my daughter was born, I just grew past all of that. And I feel like he didn't. And I also feel like I'm going to get so much. I know for a fact that he watches this video, he's going to tear me up for saying this. And I know everybody's going to come at me for saying this. I don't even care. I'm just going to say it because how I feel. I feel like a lot of his friends don't embrace the fact that he's a father. Like, for example, my friends love Zendaya, ask about Zendaya all the time, talk about Zendaya, want to be friends with Julia, the mom. I feel like some of his friends don't even acknowledge the fact that he's a father. I feel like they don't even want anything to do with the fact that he's a father. And I feel like that was a big breaking point in our relationship, because I felt like at times he was living two different lives. Like with me and Zendaya, he's a father, he's a boyfriend, he's an amazing person. But then with his friends, he's Tellus the teenager who wants to go smoke and drink, not drink. He wants to smoke, party, go to basketball games, go to football games, and have hoes, basically. And I felt like that was just not going to work for us, because it felt like he was two different people depending on who he was with. And that was not cool with me. And I feel like that was also a huge breaking point in our relationship. Now, all of what I just said is my opinion. I'm not speaking facts. That was 100% my opinion and what I saw in him and what I just have put together when I just think about the situation. But it's just, I love him more than anything else. I love him more than I love anybody else I've been in a relationship with. I saw myself with him long term. I really kind of like worked my future out around being with him. But as much as all that is very true, and as much as I would love for us to be successful, I can't take the hurt anymore. I can't put through that again, you know? I saw this quote that said, there's nothing more confusing to a woman who is being told she's worth this and worth that, but the person's not acting like it. So I don't know exactly what it was like. I'll put the quote in the description box. Go read that, click the down bar, and see what exactly I'm saying. But it was basically kind of a quote saying like it's confusing for women to be told that they're good enough, to be told that they're amazing and they're worthy of love, but they're not being treated like it. And that's what I felt like was going on. I felt like he was telling me how much he loved me, and he was telling me how much he wanted to be with me, and he was telling me how much he wanted our relationship, but everything he was doing was completely not backing that up at all. And I feel like that was really confusing to me. And I feel like a relationship is over when the hurt becomes more than the joy. When there's more bad than there is good, that's when a relationship is done with and over. Completely. And as much as it would be amazing to be true, love is not the only thing that needs to be between two people to keep a relationship going. You need a lot more than love to keep a relationship successful. You need trust, respect, equally from both sides. And I feel like we've never had that. We never 100% trusted each other. We never 100% respected each other. And I feel like that was our breaking point. And I feel like the biggest reason why I held on for so long is because before me and Tubbs were in a relationship, when we were best friends, he worshipped the ground I walked on. And it makes me so emotional to talk about that because literally before we got into a relationship, there was no doubt in my mind he loved every piece of me. He literally praised me in the highest form before we were together. If somebody hurt me, he was going after them. I mean, before we actually started our real relationship, he just made me feel like a queen. And then it's like, back then, he would go after people who hurt me. And then now, 4 years later, he ended up being that person. And I feel like that was why I hung on for so long, because I feel like the person he was to me 4 years ago is still in him somewhere, and he can bring that out. But there becomes a point where I have to realize I cannot change somebody. I cannot beg them to be what I need. I cannot beg them to give me what I need. It's just not possible. And like I said, I'm not saying I was a saint. I did some stuff in our relationship too, but I'm not gonna. I mean, there's not much I can say about that because in my head, what I was doing to him was in retaliation for what he did to me. So it's kind of hard for me to speak on that. But yeah, so where we are at now. Now I feel like we are trying to be okay. I feel like ever since we officially ended our relationship, we've been arguing so much, and I feel like I have been the cause of those arguments because I have asked him multiple times why he did what he did. And I feel like his responses are just not good enough for me. It's either, I'm sorry, I regret it, I would take it back if I could, I don't know why I did it, or whatever. And just recently when I asked him why he did it, his reasoning was because I was mean to him, I was pushing him away, I wasn't giving him the love he wanted, I wasn't giving him the love that he was giving to me, and just all those reasons. And I said back, well, why did you just break up with me? You know? Like, being hurt over a breakup versus being cheated on is two completely different types of pain. Being broken up with hurts, it's sad, but you get over it. You know, it's whatever. It didn't work out. Okay. Being cheated on destroys every bit of your self-worth, of your confidence, of your self-esteem, like of anything. It just completely shatters every piece of your being. And I told him that. I was like, I would have much rather you have broken up with me every single time made you feel bad than cheat on me. 100%. And his response was, well, I didn't break up with you because the girls I was texting didn't mean anything to me. What we had was real. And I really wanted to accept that answer as an explanation, but then that just kind of made me more pissed because I was like, so you're willing to lose me for someone you didn't even care about. Like, I would have much rather you cheat on somebody who you liked than cheat on someone who means nothing to you and risk losing me over nobody, you know? I just feel like I've hung on to this for so long, and I feel like I've been angry with him for so long because I just want to know why. I just want to know what I did to deserve that. I just want to know, what was I not giving enough of? What was I not being enough? And like, in what ways? How was I not enough? And I feel like I've come to the conclusion that no matter what answer he gives, I'm not going to be satisfied. Because at the end of the day, there's no reason to cheat on somebody. You can't cheat on somebody that you love. And I feel like that's the hardest part, is realizing that he might not have loved me as much as he said he did. And I really, really, really believe that he wants to love me. I really believe that he wants this to work. I really believe that he wants us to be a family. But I also believe that he's not willing to work for it. I also believe that he might want it, but not bad enough to actually change himself. So, yeah. That's kind of the story about why me and my daughter's father ended our relationship. I'm sorry if there's like pieces missing or confusing pieces. I'm just like trying to like ramble and say everything while still making sense, while not violating his privacy and not talking bad about him or bashing him, because I really don't want to do that. I feel like we are getting back to a good spot right now. We were just on FaceTime earlier because I'm home by myself right now and I had to take a shower, so I had to FaceTime him to make sure no one killed me in the shower. So I feel like we're in an okay spot right now. I feel like there's definitely still a lot of hurt, and I don't think we're ever going to be in a relationship again. But I think as friends and as parents, we need to figure something out. But to close out this video, I'm going to give 2 pieces of advice to couples without a child, with a child, been together for a month, been together for a year, whatever. 2 pieces of advice that I would give anybody. Number 1, nobody owes you anything. This is a very harsh reality. Nobody owes you anything. They don't owe you an explanation. They don't owe you closure. They don't owe you respect. They don't owe you trust. They don't owe you support. They don't owe you love. They don't owe you enough. They don't owe you anything to stay. They don't have to stay. Morally, when you're in a relationship, you shouldn't cheat. You should trust the person you're with. You should respect the person you're with. But realistically, nobody owes you a thing. Everybody is entitled to do what makes them happy. And even though morally you shouldn't cheat on somebody, and even though cheating is wrong, and even though going outside a relationship is wrong, and even though lying is wrong, people are going to do what they want to do. And there's nothing you can do to change that. There's nothing you can do to fix that. There's nothing you can do to control them to not do it. People are going to do what makes them happy, and that's all. You can't do anything about it. I feel like that's one thing I struggle with, is the fact that he does not owe me an explanation. He does not owe me closure. He does not owe me a reason. He does not owe me anything. He's going to do what makes him happy, and even if that's at the expense of my feelings, he's going to do what makes him happy regardless. The second piece of advice I would give to someone in a relationship is leave after the first time. Leave after the second time. Leave after the third time. But do not stick around after someone continuously shows you that they have a pattern of not being loyal, of not being truthful, and not being worthy of you. I don't regret our relationship. I don't regret my daughter with him. I don't regret being with him for this long. I don't regret staying with him this long. I don't regret any of that. But all of this pain and hurt and confusion and damage to my self-esteem and my self-worth could have been prevented if I left after the first time, or the second time, or the third time. Save yourself. Realize that no man, no woman is worth you questioning your worth as a human being. Just remember that. So that's the story about how and why me and my baby's father ended our relationship. And I'm okay. I'm getting there, you know? I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be happy one day with somebody else. I'm going to be happy in a relationship, in a healthy relationship. And I can't wait for that day, you know? But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry this video is so long. I hope you guys kind of stayed to the end and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.